Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Testy Tuesday. Yeah, it's a beautiful day out. See the sun shining right in my face right now? It's gorgeous, and we have one more day of, you walk outside, not a cloud in the sky, the sun shining, and the next hour, torrential downpour. Yeah, we're just caught up in this low-pressure system that's just swirling some crazy weather around us. But after this, a big stretch of really nice late summer, early fall weather. But hey, let's get with this test. I want to find out if you know which of these three prophets, see, you only have three choices this week instead of four, which of these three prophets said these words: "Let justice roll down like waters and righteousness like an ever-flowing stream." Got that? Let justice roll down like waters and righteousness like an ever-flowing stream. Was it Amos? Was it Isaiah? Or was it Micah? I like all three of these prophets. Amos, Isaiah, or Micah? The answer is Amos. Yes, Amos. Famous Amos. No, Amos. Famous Amos, I think, is a brand of cookie or something like that. But Amos is the one who spoke these words. But I'm going to tell you right now, if you guessed Isaiah or Micah, you would not have been all that far off. These were all 8th century prophets who spoke a very harsh word to the people of Judah and Israel. And their biggest concern was justice, social justice, justice especially that reached out to the poor and the marginalized in society. Yep, and that is our scripture passage that we're going to have for this coming Sunday. It's something that, it's part of a passage that showed up sometime in July. If you were following the alternate Old Testament semi-continuous reading, and it's from the 8th chapter of Amos, and here's the part that we're going to read this Sunday. "Hear this, you that trample on the needy and bring to ruin the poor of the land, saying, when will the new moon be over, so that we may sell grain, and the Sabbath, so that we may offer wheat for sale? We will make the ephah small and the shekel great, and practice deceit with false balances, buying the poor for silver and the needy for a pair of sandals, and selling the sweepings of the wheat." You see, what's being talked about right there is cheating, putting your finger on the scales and things like that, and selling this crappy stuff that we picked up off the floor and saying, hey, this is wheat, but it's full of all the chaff as well. Nah, you just don't do that. That's taking advantage of people. And sometimes people had no choice but to buy that because there was nothing else around to buy. And this whole talk about we can hardly wait till the Sabbath is over. The Sabbath rest, the seventh day, where you didn't do any of that stuff. People just chomping at the bit to get back at it, to make another buck. And also waiting for the new moon to be done. Well, see, there was also kind of a Sabbath rest for every new moon, every 28 days, right? And you know what? This is what Amos is getting on the people for. They're just being greedy. The society at that point, when all these prophets were speaking, especially with Amos, it was at a time when things were going pretty well. The economy was booming. The only problem was the rich were getting richer and the poor were getting poorer, and it just wasn't right. And if you were to sit down and study the Torah, the law of God, those first 5 books of the Bible, you would find there's a lot that's spoken about with this whole Sabbath rest deal. It's more than just taking a day off because God took a day off, but it's meant to rejuvenate everyone, rejuvenate the economy itself, rejuvenate the animals, rejuvenate the land, because there was a Sabbath rest for the land too, not just days, but and every 7 years. I mean, that whole concept of Sabbath is give everything a fresh start and give everyone a fresh start. Even slaves were freed after a Sabbath period. I mean, there's a lot of things going on in the Old Testament laws that refer to the Sabbath. So it's not just that seventh day of the week. It's also an idea and a concept that is found all through the Old Testament scriptures. Amos is saying, it's not that buying and selling is a bad thing. You got to do it the right way and the just way, the way that brings health, healing, and wholeness to everyone, not just those who are, in charge and able to manipulate different things like the scales and the weights and the things like that. No. It's all about dealing honestly. And in fact, when you see in the book of Deuteronomy, that word honest, as far as these kind of dealings, shows up a couple times in our translations. It's the same word as righteous. So be righteous when you're weighing out the wheat. Be honest. Be righteous. Wow, that really puts a whole new twist on it, doesn't it? But Amos, yep, he was there. And he got kind of beat up for saying all these things. In fact, the other prophets up in the north of Israel said, go back home, because Amos was, remember, from the south, from Judah. Go back home where you belong and leave us alone. And Amos basically said, hey, look, this wasn't my idea. This was God's idea. He told me to get up here and tell you this word. But it's a word that also applied to the people down south as well. All right, well, Testy Tuesday, hopefully you got the right answer. It was Amos, but truly, when you're reading the books of Isaiah and Micah as well, you would say, who's who? It could have been any one of these three prophets saying those words. Well, enjoy your day. Look at the sun. It just keeps going in and out of the clouds, but right now it's right in my face, full force, and it's wonderful. It feels great. God's blessings be with you.